A young man convinces his girlfriend to take their relationship to the next level by going on a snowy road trip to meet his parents. If you have ever seen a Charlie Kaufman movie before, you kind of know what to expect, and that is to expect to see things that you've never seen before and expect to not fully understand what you watched when it ends. I'm thinking of Ending Things as one of those movies that sounds absolutely crazy when you describe it to someone. On the surface, it's just a road trip movie about a couple and their in-depth conversations about life and death. It's also about relationships and family. For some reason, there's a lot of references to the Broadway musical Oklahoma. But throughout the movie, the characters' names and ages and costumes and hairstyles all change drastically from scene to scene with no description of why it's happening, and none of the other characters seem to notice. There's the family dog who's never not shaking water off of his fur. There's a janitor. There's a creepy basement. There's a roadside ice cream stand that's open in the middle of a blizzard. There's a High School Musical number. There's also a very strange and awkward family dinner. And I would venture to say that 50% of the movie takes place inside a car driving into nothingness. The only movie you can really compare I'm thinking of Ending Things to is another Charlie Kaufman movie, or possibly a David Lynch movie. And it is just as weird as it sounds, but it's also very interesting and it's very thought-provoking. The whole movie seems kind of whimsical and nonsensical and dreamlike, and it feels like there's no rhyme or reason to why things happen. But there is a definite rhyme or reason to why things happen. Unfortunately, when it ended, I did not pick up on all of the symbolism and had to read about it online after. It's very obvious once you know what's happening, but it's really hard to pick up on that first run through. And even though I didn't fully understand it as I watched it, I really enjoyed the journey. And I actually learned a lot while watching it. For instance, did you know that it is the Genus Edition Trivial Pursuit and not Genius Edition Trivial Pursuit? There are a lot of great quotes scattered throughout this movie. I assume that most of them are pulled directly from the pages of the book of the same name that the movie is based on, which, by the way, I'm going to be adding to my reading list very soon. So I thought I'd end this review with some of my favorite quotes from the movie. That's why I like road trips. Helps remind you the world is bigger than inside your head. I watch too many movies. I fill my head with lies to pass the time. I suspect that humans are the only animals that know the inevitability of their death. Other animals live in the present, humans cannot, and that's why they invented hope. People like to think of themselves as a point moving through time, but I think it's probably the opposite. We are stationary and time passes through us. Old people are the ash heap of youth. Broken mirrors, ice cream stands, meeting the in-laws, road trips, watching the snowfall, wet dogs.